This is Donald Wade. This is FTT214, the hand checkering lab. This is week 4. This will be the final project. Today's the 19th November 2025. So we'll start getting after it. I've already got a good bit done as far as the initial pattern, using everything the schoolhouse provided. So we'll do a little bit of video of this workpiece that I've got on there now. It absolutely looks like trash, but we're gonna keep going. I have done a forend. This side looks okay to start compared to this side. I'm not too worried about this because I can sand this down and I'll refinish it if I need to, which is probably going to happen. Which is what I did on this particular piece here. I screwed it up, and it's in the video at the beginning, or I'll show that after. It looked absolutely trash. So what I did was I sanded this down early last week when I initially started doing it. Sanded it, did true oil again. I've got 4 layers, 4 coats, sanding between each coat, allowing it to cure. Like I said, I finished it midweek last week, and then I started doing checkering yesterday. But on this one, I ended up doing the backside as well, just in case, you know, I mess up, which obviously is inevitable because I absolutely suck at this. But I did go ahead and do this side so I can continue to practice, which is what I'm going to do. So without further ado, I'll get going on this one. I'll cut a few more lines, and we'll go from there. It ain't looking good, that's for sure. You can see that I kind of jumped all over the place. So I'm not happy with it at all. Alright, so I've got this. Yeah, it ain't looking the best, that's for sure. But I was able to finish this side. This is the original block. Doing this scratching, I still seem to jump from, and it's mainly like I'm hitting something, so I imagine it's the way I'm holding the tool. And I do know on these harder angles, I do tend to kind of roll the tool to match but I'm still spinning the stock too, so it's getting quite frustrating. I don't even know how this is going to turn out. So, but I'm going to keep at it. This is something that I wanted to learn, and it's going to take practice. But so far I've got two passes. So I'm gonna do 2 more passes, and then I'm gonna do the 90 degree and see what I get. Before I start 90 degree, we'll come back. Okay, so I'm doing the 90 degree cutter to finish out some of these checkering. There's a couple places where it's kind of flat, where I ended up running out a track, or running out of line, and just tried to fix it. But there's a couple flat spots. You can still feel the texture of the checkering, but I'm going to keep going, and we're going to run and see what we can come up with. I have found that going through some lines with a pull rather than a push, especially closer to the ends, to the borders, I can get a better control. I can create that line. All right, I'm going to continue to work on this and get these diamonds to kind of stand up. I'm going to fast forward, do a time lapse on it, and then we'll be back once I'm done, and we're getting ready to apply a finish. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking this this little U-gouge, and I'm just cleaning this up, this border. I don't want to go too deep. And then I'll come back in on these corners with a V-tool. That way I can get right up in that corner. But all I really want to do is I want to just clean these up, especially this overrun. Give me a nice border. I'm not completely happy with this. You know, it is what it is. It's definitely the first time go. You know, I'm not satisfied with it still. And I'm sure it'll show up when I do the finish. I tried my best to kind of correct some of the lines, the overrun, the crossovers, and all it seemed to do was just create more of a mess. So, you know, for the intent and purpose of this class, you know, this is what I'm going to go with for now. I will sand this thing back down to bare, and I'm going to refinish it. I'm not happy with it. This is something that, you know, takes time, takes practice. But I think overall it's not a bad, I mean, it's a bad job. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But it's not, you know, all things considered, with this being the first go on checkering, it's hard to say. I mean, it is what it is. So it's a lot of figuring out what works, position of the cradle, position of your body, you know, rotating the stock as you're moving along, keeping the tool parallel or perpendicular to the stock. You know, it's a lot of little things that go and play into it a good checkering job, and I'm here to learn. So I'm going to, oh my goodness, I'm going to continue. This is what it kind of started as. I'm probably going to checker this side, but this is the type of run out that I was talking about, how my lines cross where the cutter would kind of slip and I try to catch it, but it's already tracking in a certain groove, and I may be able to fix this. I've got a jointer coming that's supposed to help run these lines. So if I run a spaced cutter, I can run this jointer in there and it'll straighten these lines out. There's spots on here that look really good. There's spots on here that not so good. So for all intents and purposes, of course, the checkering, it's going to serve its purpose. It's going to add texture to the grip. I do want to try on this part right here where it's kind of overlapping. I'm going to try to run this. And that is not going to work. This thing is too sharp. Of an angle. dilute some true oil and some mineral spirits or lacquer thinner. Alright, so I got a 6:1 ratio, 6 parts gun oil to 1 part lacquer thinner. Mixed it up till it came out to this honey color. I'm just going to use the brush to apply. Oh yeah, you can really see where the lines are coming together. So I've got here, they end up touching for a second. This one here, there's a tiny one there. That looks bad. It is what it is. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it now. So the only thing that I can do is strip this all the way back down, sand it down below the checkering, and go from there. Alright, I'm going to put this aside and let it dry and clean up real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, you know, initially when I was going to do this lab, I wasn't going to build a cradle. Cradle has become very helpful, and it's pretty versatile. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it turned out. So what I ended up doing is I ended up making a couple of tools on my own. What I've got is I've made a layout guide. So loosen the bolt, and this will go in and out to whatever measurement I want. I can tighten it up. I can take and I can rest it against the grip, and then I can just move it right across all the way around, which will create a border line equal on all sides. Doing the tops, you know, on the grip here, I can measure it out, whatever I want to do, and I can run my borders all the way around. Yeah, you can buy them. Problem is nobody seems to have them in stock. And all it is a piece of aluminum solid stock square with a hole with looks like an Allen key ground down. You know, I've got it ground down, and a freaking bolt on the top. That's all it is. This is the first one I did. It's an old locker latch, and I took a screw, filed it down, made a little cutter out of it, so it kind of does the same thing. I sanded the bottom and put it on whatever surface, and you can go along that surface. I took an old screwdriver. I guess it would be a knife kerf something or another, for knife scales. Ground it down, filed some teeth. And I did this one. It's an old Allen key, bent it, heated up, bent it, beveled the end, and cut some teeth into it. I don't know if I can get those teeth to show up. And then I made another one a little smaller. Okay, it's got a little teeth. I'm gonna bend this one out. And then these I made, here's a single cutter. Here's a 2-line cutter. It's a bit wide. Like I said, I was just kind of messing around with it. These are out of keys for like a motor on a machine or something like that. You've got a motor, it's got the key in it, you put the pulley over it, or the gear or whatever. This was another one I did. It's just an old Allen key, 2-line cutter. This is a little thinner. This was the first single line I did. Then here's another double, and that's really it. Yeah, that's it. So overall, this class has been very informative, and I've enjoyed myself, challenging myself. Like I said, I'm not happy with the results, so I'm going to keep working at it. I've got 1911 scales, grips. Okay, I'm going to finish the stock. This is the wood, part of the wood block that was supplied to us for this particular course. And I'm going to work on this. This is going to be the result of this. This is the one I'm trying to replicate. I got another set of scales I'm working on, so I've got plenty of projects. I've got the muzzle loader build back there, for FTT214, so I got that if I want to checker it. Either way, I got options, and I'm going to continue to work at it. Like as I said, I'm not happy with the results. I can do better. And I think the biggest thing is time. You've got to invest the time if you're going to do the checkering. With practice, you'll get better. And patience, lots and lots of patience. But for now. This is the end of FTT214 hand checkering lab with SDI. Until next time, stay safe.